Of my days. We're back. We're back after like months, I think. Um, yeah, so I have not been trading. I have not been learning anything for a very long time. I've been working for the summer and my job needs me from, 10 in the morning to 4 at night. So I haven't been trading, haven't been learning anything, anything of that nature. And honestly, since I didn't have a solidified strategy, I didn't know where I was heading. But I did reach out to the PB trading mentorship guy to see if I could, join the mentorship. And they were like charging me like 4,000 to like 10,000 Canadian, right? And I was thinking like, nah, I don't like, although it's very, very useful. And honestly, I was thinking about paying it, but I felt like they have a lot of useful information on their YouTube that I can use to become successful with trading. So yeah, bro, a lot has happened, honestly. A lot has happened. But yeah, my plan for this new chapter of my trading journey is to, just try learning the PB trading model strategy from YouTube. And if I feel stuck or if I feel lost, if I feel like I've hidden a roadblock, then I will pay that $4,000 Canadian to join the mentorship. This way, I will have guidance to become successful in my trading journey. But I feel like based on what I've seen Patty and Blake post on YouTube, that information is more than enough for me to become successful. But again, if I feel like I'm not moving forward, I'm not progressing, then I will pay that 4K. But that's not kind of like a conversation I have with my girlfriend as well. She was honestly the person that kind of told me to go this route inside, and I was kind of thinking about it. At first, I'm like, I didn't really want to do it. I feel like I want to just pay the 4K and just go on with it. And the reason I'm saying 4K and 10K because the first time I asked them, they said the price was 4K, and the second time I asked them, it was 10K. I honestly don't, I don't know. But yeah, my plan is just to try learning trading by myself with the information that's available to me on YouTube. And if I feel stuck after some time, if I feel like I'm not progressing, then I will go and pay $4,000 to join the mentorship. But yeah, I need to start but honestly, I'm extremely excited to start back. I'll be honest. I'm actually extremely, extremely excited to start back. Um, like my last day of work for the summer was August 14th, which was Friday, right? Today's Saturday. And for the whole week coming into the Friday, right? The last day, I'm like, oh my God, I actually can't wait, right? And I feel like based on what I have learned from my past ex mentor, right? I feel like it'll be a little bit easier for me to go about learning a different strategy this time. Not because of the strategy itself, but me understanding and falling in love with the journey. Because the first time I was learning, I was kind of like, like just like rushing it. I wasn't really falling in love with the process and things of that nature, right? And I feel like this time that I'm doing it right, I am falling in love with the process. I want to fall in love with the process. I want to love the journey. The steps that I take each day to get close to my goal. Just falling in love with the process that will get me there. Because I feel like a lot of the times and a lot of successful traders and people say that they regret not enjoying the process to get them to where they are right now. And I feel like the first time I was learning, I wasn't really enjoying the process. But this time, I feel like I will enjoy the process a lot more because I know that it will be hard, right? It'll be hard, but when I do become profitable, when I do become successful with trading, I can look back and say, "Yo, I enjoyed the process. That process was very hard and I was struggling. I was struggling a lot. It was very frustrating. But the fact that I got to where I wanted to get and I fell in love with the process to get there is like it'll be great. But yeah, I gotta learn everything over again. Well, not everything. Well, first, some things that I definitely need to learn is like just to solidify. my knowledge when it comes to trading because now I'll be trading futures. Well, I was also always trading futures, but I was doing gold XAU USD before, but now I'm doing ES and NQ now. I'll be learning about SMTs now, how they work, how I'm correlated assets. I'll be learning about contract sizes and the 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 expiration every month of a different of the NQ and stuff like that, right? I don't know how to explain it. See, 'cause I don't really know anything about it yet, but I know that the first time I learn these things, right, it's gonna be extremely, extremely, extremely difficult, right? But with anything in life, the first time you do it is gonna be hard, right? For some time, after some reps, after some hours that you put in, it becomes a little bit easier each day. And that's something that I did not realize the first time I started training, right? I thought it was supposed to be bam, easy, easy, easy. But with anything, the first time you do it, again, the first time you do something is gonna be extremely, extremely hard. But the more times you do that, the more reps you do with it, it becomes easier over time. And that's something that that's a mindset that I have now put into this um chapter of my training career, right? As I said before, I didn't have this mindset first time I started trading, right? But the fact that I have it now, I feel like this is my advantage this time around. But yeah, okay. So I'm just gonna show you guys what I have and the things that I plan on doing first, right? First things first, though. First things first. This is something that my girlfriend created for me. My girlfriend, she coded this for me just to make sure I have. So she's a goal. I'm not gonna be honest. She's a goal. She's a goal. But she coded this for me just to make sure I have structure when it comes to learning the mentorship, and learning the strategy to that nature. So these are the things that I obviously need to learn. Where is it? See, look, the learning tree. Look at it. This is all the things that she put into this what's it called? What's it called? This program for me, things that I need to know, things I must know, things I should know, and things that's nice to know. Like all these things will allow me to become successful in trading, right? Especially with the mentorship. Look at this. Like, oh my days, bro. Like the first time I seen this, I'm like, bro, what the? I was so surprised. But looking over it right now again, it's just wow. He put in so much work with this, bro. But yeah, this is some of the things that I'll be using to develop myself and gain confidence when it comes to trading, right? And these are some of the questions that I also asked ChatGPT to help me with, right? Um, yeah, so these are some of the questions that I have to know before starting. Obviously, not all of these things right here, right? But they're like some of the things like what's the point, what is the tick size, contract size, all these things. These are some things that I need to know before you know learning before moving on to the the deeper things when it comes to the trading strategy, like S&T is how it works, how the model works, how what type of trade I should be taking, all these type of things, right? So I don't want to jump the gun and go straight into Patty and Blake's videos that they have on YouTube, right? I need to learn the basics first and then get into that. So that's what I plan on doing today. I dialed in right now. I drank some coffee already. It's almost done. A little cold right now. I'm gonna be honest, with you, a little cold right now, but yes, we're getting back into it right now. So gonna get the book, you know, go get the books on top that has been sitting there for a long time, and yeah, I'm gonna get back into it now. I want to get back into it. First things first, learning the basics, and yeah, we'll see where we go from there. Yeah. Okay. So right now, time is 2:32 p.m. Right. I don't have nothing to do today. Honestly, I have nothing to do today. I am just gonna work until maybe I feel tired. Take a couple breaks in between. But yeah, I feel dialed in right now with the coffee and everything. Let's get into it. No, I'm not gonna lie to you. I see why people pay that $4,000 to just get the filtered information. Because right now I'm kind of like scouring through the internet to kind of see, okay, what kind of makes sense, and what do I need to start out with? Because if I don't start out with the proper things, I'm gonna get confused and things of that nature. But like, all right, yeah, I do see why people just pay the 4,000 still. But Okay, we'll forget. I think I might go to ChatGPT instead. We'll see though. All right. So before I get into contract sizing and everything, I'm kind of confused right now, but I'll get to it. Let me just say what I learned so far. I learned about the different types of future contracts. There is two, which is commodities and indexes. Commodities are physical goods, which are gold, oil, and silver, for examples. And the other types of future contracts are indexes. Both types of futures, yeah, are indexes. So there's commodities and indexes. Indexes, so for Nasdaq would be the top 100 tech companies under one umbrella. So it's like this, right? Let me just think. So it's Nasdaq is an index, and the index is a group of companies under one umbrella. And for us as traders, Nasdaq is the umbrella, and the companies under it are the top 100 tech companies. So it's a 100 top, the top 100 tech companies under one umbrella, and that umbrella is Nasdaq. And the ticker symbol for Nasdaq is NQ. And it's the same thing for the S&P 500, which is ES. The ticker symbol is ES. ES is an umbrella, or S&P 500 is an umbrella, and under it is the top 500 companies. So top 500 companies here under the umbrella of NQ, which is the index, well, the S&P 500, which is the index, and the ticker symbol for the S&P 500 is ES. And the micro versions of these indexes, which is NQ and ES, is MNQ and MES. But obviously, since we won't be trading MES, we don't have to. When it comes to like obviously correlated assets, will come later on, which yeah, obviously it will come later on. But we won't have to use. I might we won't have to use MES when trading and MNQ, right? So we just use the regular S&P 500, which is ES, and trade using MNQ. But yeah, I need to zoom up because this thing is too foreign. But yeah, now I'm gonna go get learning about the contract sizes, the takes, and everything like that, so they actually understand how those things works, how they work. Yeah. So another reason why people would use it, you would use MNQ instead of NQ is because obviously MNQ is 1/10 of the NQ of NQ, right? So let's say MNQ costs $500. Let's say NQ costs $500 per contract. MNQ would cost $50 per contract. So that's how it's. If you don't want to risk too much with NQ, you go to MNQ and risk less, 1/10 of the price. Yeah, let's get into the next part now. No. A future contract is a unit of a specific asset. So NQ and MNQ, they are in, if you want to trade one MNQ or NQ, it's called a contract or a unit. And one unit or contract costs $20. No, am I tripping? Yeah, a contract represents one unit of a asset or a, yeah, come on. Yeah, no, I'm not tripping. Okay, a contract is one unit of, or one unit, units or one contract of the assets, NQ or MNQ. The reason that TradingView says units because units are a universal things that every every trader can understand, whether you are an option trader, a futures trader, or a forex trader. It's universal. Everyone understands the same thing. A point, a point is moving from the right side of the decimal going right. So let's say we have a price of 1,000, when I say 20,000.05, that five and a zero five is the point. Oh no, 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 that's a tick. That's a tick. So a point is the number after, or no, before the decimal going to the left side. So let's say we have 1,000.05, right? And let's say price goes up 1,001.05. That 1 point increase is the points. What is a tick? A tick is price moving up or down from the right side of the decimal going right. So let's say we have a price of 1,000.05. That five and a zero five is a tick. So let's say price goes up to 1,000.06. That's a one tick increase. Tick value and tick size. So a tick value goes it goes up by 0.25 no matter the instrument, right? But a tick size could mean, let's say for MNQ, a tick size is 0.50. And for NQ, the tick size is equals to $5. And 1/4 of a tick equals into equal wait, all four, there are, okay, so there's one tick times four equals into 1 point. So let's say we have 0.50 of a tick for MNQ, right? If you do that times four, that will equal into 1 point. NQ is the Nasdaq. It is 100, the top 100 tech stocks under one umbrella, which is NQ. NQ's point value is $20 and its take value is $5. MNQ's point value is $2 and its take value is 0.50 cents. NQ and MNQ is basically the same thing, but MNQ is 1/10 of the price of NQ. So let's say NQ costs $1,000, MNQ will cost $100. The reason why 10 MNQ has the same exposure as one NQ is because since MNQ costs 1/10 of the price of NQ, that means if you have 10 MNQ, that will be the same price as one NQ. Since let's say one NQ is $1,000, but 10 MNQ is also $1,000. It's the same exposure. One NQ could be 1,000, and 10 MNQ could be also 1,000. So one NQ, since one NQ could be, let's get $1,000, two NQ could be 2,000, and five NQ could be $5,000. So the reason that two NQ equals 40 per point is because 20, okay, if you're using one contract, which is one NQ, each point movement equals $20, right? But if you're trading using two contracts of NQ, that will be $40 per point movement. But it still costs 20 per per point movement, right? But since you're trading two NQs, it now totals into 40 per point. It's so there's three NQ mean and dollars per tick. Yeah. Trading means the amount of money you're risking on your trade. So let's say price hits your stop loss, that's how much you lose because that's how much you risked. The way your stop loss determines your risk is let's say you want to risk 500, right? And let's say your stop loss is 30 points. You have to, based on how much your stop loss is, it determines how much you would have to risk on that trade. So let's say you have a 25-point stop loss trading one NQ. You would be risking $20 per point, which would equal to 500. Three NQ with a 15-point stop would mean you are risking $900. If you increase your contract sizes, right, that means every point costs more. So let's say you are trading NQ, right? And you are trading three contracts. That means every point cost is $60. So that means if price goes in your favor 1 point, you get $60. But if it goes down and not in your favor, you'll also lose $60. So the reason why you cannot risk $500 on a 28-point stop on NQ is because, or the reason you, let's say you don't want to risk more than 500. for a trade and you're using NQ to 28 point stop, that will not 28, so it will be 20 times 28 equals into $560. So that will be over your $500 limit. But the reason MNQ can work is because MNQ gives you the flexibility of how much you want to actually risk per trade, and you can stay in the parameters of that $500 risk. So with MNQ, you could trade, let's say, let's say you could trade, let's say, somewhere close to $500 and still be below your risk, your your limit parameter for risks. MNQ gives you more position sizing because it uses more units instead of yeah, it uses more units, using more contracts per how much a contract costs is less than NQ. NQ costs more and MNQ costs less per contract. So for NQ, one contract could be, let's say, $500, but for MNQ, one contract could be cool, or one unit could cost, like, let's say, it would cost like $2 per point. Yeah. Hello. Yeah. So I just learned about contract sizing, position sizing, ticks, points, MNQ, NQ, tick size, tick value, all those things. Yeah. Now after that, I'm gonna be learning contract rollover because that's extremely important when it comes to trading. I gotta understand that contract rollover. Yeah, but I'm gonna go doom scroll a little bit first, and then I'm going to learn about contract rollover. Yes, though. All right, so good amount of work today. We learned the difference between MNQ and NQ. We learned about the ticks, the points. We learned about contract rollover, contract contract expiration. All these things learned a good amount of things today. God dang, I am tired and all. Oh, shoot. I am tired and all lie to you. Yeah, I'm gonna go sleep. Or not, I'm gonna go eat first, chill a little bit, and then go sleep. But we worked from like what, like 3 a.m. Was it 3 a.m. I think? I don't remember what time we started working at, bro. But we worked a good amount of time today. I don't know how long, but right now the time is like 12:32 a.m. I'm gonna go get some food real quick, chill, and then go to sleep. Yeah, let's see you guys tomorrow. So first day back, we did pretty good. We did pretty good. But I'm gonna definitely ask myself the same questions that I asked myself today, tomorrow, and see if I actually remember the things I learned today. But yeah, god dang. Oh yeah, let's be done for today. See you guys tomorrow. Successful first day. And yeah.